Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, camera field. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Camera is not.
I was wondering why Swamiji is not joining.
Camera is not working.
Why?
Field comes.
I'll put this round first. Ask to join.
No, here, camera.
And you see.
There. Oh no.
No, one day class, Swamiji. Still no camera is not showing up. Yeah, it's showing an error. Dismiss. Restart the system. I'll restart, Swamiji.
Okay, I'll try again. Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Usha Ram Mohan, Sundar rang up. There is a message from Brundamma, Brunda Trikanad. She is still drowsy, not talking. Still drowsy, not talking, still in a hospital. Brundamma has sent a message. Sundar.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om
Hari Om,
Swamiji.
Hari Om, Pranam, Pranam. Any topic, any suggestions?
Swamiji, is there any difference between the supra mind and the stillness of the mind?
Is there any difference between supra mind and
the stillness of
stillness of mind? Any difference between supra mind and stillness of mind?
Aurobindo speaks much of supra mind. Is there a difference or is it one and the same?
Suppose we start analyzing it at the intellectual level, we may get some ideas. But what is required is the mind should become still. And how to make it still, we are talking now. With the thought, the stillness cannot be had. So we are trying to quieten the mind with the help of Ramnam. And ultimately, the chanting also stops and we get that direct experience. Not for a long time, for a very short time. So, but when we get the glimpse, then we try to extend it. When we try to explain this, that we have, we can term it as a higher mind or supra mind. But what is needed is what is our experience. It cannot be conveyed, but we try to convey it through some known words. So best way is to feel the stillness. How do we get the stillness? No, that is also another point. We were just going through one word. So far, the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others, and often it is still felt that the chanting is not become effective. Think about it, please. Ultimately, we have heard from our master that utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. We have been trying, not that we have not been trying, not for 1 week or 1 month or 1 year. For decades, all of us are trying. So we are now looking back to ourselves. Whether this chanting has really led us to experience that stillness. So what do? We have understood intellectually that we will be able to feel His presence only in the stillness. Okay. And we we had we have faith in the words of our master, and we have been chanting. And when we are chanting, so many things would have taken place. We would have been benefited by it in so many ways. But the ultimate benefit is to become still. So God must have been giving us so many opportunities not to get riveted to the ultimate, but giving us some fleeting experience, some ephemeral joy, some target has been fulfilled. We have hit the target with the help of Ramnam. All those things, it stalls. It stops our progress because ultimately we want to feel His presence. So what do we do? So we feel so far the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others. And often it is still felt that the chanting is not become effective. In the sense, ultimately the stillness I have not experienced. Meaning, his remembrance is still a far cry. So to get over this feeling, a different methodology has to be evolved based on trial and error, which is suitable and in line with our own nature. Mind is nothing but thought flow. And we have been given now that by our efforts we should be able to, not by our efforts, our effort should be to know where from this thought comes, which cannot be done with the help of the thoughts. So all these expressions, supra, mind, stillness, everything, it is all right. For intellectual understanding, it will help us. But we are now seriously concerned. We have been doing this Ramnam for now 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 decades, but still the core of our being, it is still a distant reality, or maybe it's a concept still. How to do that? So one suggestion is here that we have to develop a conversation with him. That is another way of going deeper and deeper and finding out how do I transform the present chanting to an effective chanting. The chanting has given me a lot of benefits. Absolutely no. We cannot say that we don't. We have. Whenever we were in stressful moment, it has helped us. Whenever we wanted to have anything, at least whether we get it or not, Nama has given me that mental state or mindset to accept everything. And far from that, somewhere, the Nama will save me, Nama will protect me, Nama will direct me, Nama will guide me. That is there. All those tangible gains are there with the Nama. I should not be satisfied with that. Because ultimate is, I must feel his presence. That is the purpose of Nama chanting. Ultimate. So why not we try? Why not we direct our whole pursuit on those lines? We know that outsiders cannot help. We cannot depend upon anything from outside. Here, Papa emphatically, bluntly, answers this because we have to find out even the chanting style, one has to develop one's own. The life of the individual must grow like a bud into a flower and the flower into a fruit. As we provide the necessary conditions and environments for the growth and fruition of the bud into a fruit, so also is it with life. In the life of the adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative, all its inner unexpressed, unrevealed. The keen aspiration for the highest truth must be there. Contact with a divinely illumined personality must also be there, but the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. This is one word, So when we ask ourselves, in spite of hearing so many satsangs, in spite of doing so much of nama chanting, why is it that remembrance does not stay with me? I may get some fleeting experience. Why is it that there is according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being? According to the nature and qualities, which nobody can prescribe. This is the crux where we find difficult to move forward. Because my mind has been looking out for guidance. Never it has seen inside what is. Somebody cannot see the quality of equipment. A guru shares his experience. And Papa has been blunt. That's why he says each one has to evolve by himself. That is why the spiritual preceptors are different.
Swamiji,
Huh?
no, so Guru's grace is also a point to be.
Everything is there. Now let us come to this point. We have been doing this. We not that we are in dearth of any material. There is not a single thing which Papa has not touched. The different phases of sadhana. Many of them we have heard, we have read, and we have been regularly doing nama. And the nama has helped us, Rama has taken us thus far. But Papa keeps on reminding us that the ultimate goal is to feel his presence always. And to know that he is making us to think, talk, and do. That is the ultimate goal. And function as an individual outside, but with the feeling that he is making us to do. The question answer between Lord Rama and Anjaneya, that comes back to us again and again. Simple. Papa has put it beautifully. If this is the guiding star. Who are you? Anjaneya was asked. So immediately he replies, as body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am a part of you. As spirit, I am one with you. That means there are three layers there. One is that as body, that is the platform, the residence. And the second is mind intellect equipment is also enjoined, which gives the feeling I am. The other one is automaton. The body functions like an automaton. As body, I am your servant. As an individual, I am part of you. Because the mind intellect equipment functions only because of the consciousness there. So God is there in the form of consciousness, then I am a part of Him. I am not full, I am a part of Him. As spirit, I am one with Him. So Nama chanting should enable me to reach this stage. Continue to function as an individual, but at the same time, knowing fully well that it is He who is behind every thought, every word, every deed. So this is the purpose of my chanting Ramnam. Am I getting stabilized in it? First, am I getting fleeting experiences? Then, am I getting frequent experiences? Then, am I getting slowly stabilized in it? The mind has got a trick of taking us away on some pretext because it has helped us. As an individual, when I start living, the intellect has helped us a lot. Intellect's function is to memorize, to analyze, to foresee, and take decision, direct the mind to take decisions, and quickly evolving the answers. All these are wonderful. That is why He has given us intellect. And we were successful to a very great extent in the professional field, especially when we handle things and when our work is acknowledged. Normally we feel that our mind intellect is fully equipped and is guiding me. With that intellect, we are trying to go to Him. We find, unlike in other these things, we are not successful in this. Because intellect, whatever it has done, it is gaining so many input stimuli from outside. Outside, outside, outside. It has not been trained to go in, within. I learned the language. It is coming from outside. The teacher teaches me the alphabets, the grammar. Then the teacher says, don't stop with it, start reading. Whenever you come across with a particular type of word, a word which meaning of which you don't know, go to the dictionary. The way of presentation of various people through various ways. That you cannot get it from this. You have to keep on reading. You write down. Our teacher directed us, whenever you find any new phrase, idioms, you start writing it out. Okay, so these are the methods through which we try to learn a technique by which we can handle the language. Okay, all these inputs have come from outside. Anything.
In spite of absolute committed repetition of Ram Nam, when the devotee finds it difficult to reach the stage stipulated, doesn't the Guru come to the rescue of the devotee at that point of time?
Have we? It's a question, agreed. Do we lack any faith in our Guru? What happened to us? What happened to us? Guru cannot from outside help us.
Yeah. True.
Beyond level, no. He can only give us direction. That's why he said, here it's clearly, he says, but the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being.
Yes.
Saints are called the awakeners, whose grace works on the sadhaka like the sunlight. Unless the ego sense disappears, unless the ego sense disappears, the divine life in us can never reveal itself in all its glory. Be like a child. God should possess us. You will become now a image of him. You behold all beings, creatures. Okay, okay. So when we say Guru's grace, normally we are led, that is from outside, outside. It is not. That is why even if a person who serves the Guru physically, you would have found many of them don't reach that stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah. So there is some more. I have to keep on digging out. A stage should come, and we find in Papa's life, it is purely his own digging inside, no outside support. That is why he was blunt in telling that don't take Ramdas's words as final, unless you have an inner sanction from it. Guru normally is an intermediary for us. So Papa again rules out God does not need an intermediary. So all these things, make us believe that we have to somehow leave everything and start digging inside. Enough is enough. You have made me to do this. You made me to feel comfortable at times. But the ultimate aim of remembering, it is not the correct word, ultimate aim of becoming aware of your presence throughout, it is still a distant reality in me. Though you are there, though you are behind my thought, word, and deed, why is it that I am not in a position to feel it? Why don't you remove that hurdle? Mataji, when she joined Papa, she was blunt. Every step when Papa stops, she will ask, give me realization, give me realization, give me realization. And Papa was not answering. One day, because he has to go to that place, he said, okay, it will be one. Simply he said, he answered. But then he knew it has to be done by that individual.
He says that.
It has to be done by that individual. And then he was watching, everything, tick mark is there. Before the plane takes off, they put checklist. But the one hurdle was that she was attached to the form. For anything and everything, she was looking to that form. Then Papa bluntly said, this is your problem. So you will not see Ramdas, you will not talk to Ramdas, you will not garland Ramdas, you will not prostrate before Ramdas. And the whole thing was plugged. And Papa himself has written, since she has exhausted all her thing and surrendered completely to her Papa, and when that support was also withdrawn, it went inside. We start thinking about it. So that means in their life we have learned that ultimately that initially it has helped a lot. Not that we are belittling the importance of the role of the outer guru, but ultimately a stage comes only up to that he can help. Guru can help only, he says that. And Vinobaji was blunt in telling that when we progress, Guru becomes a obstacle. Because we will not take out our bank balance is still there, we are not taking it. We are trying to take from here.
Swamiji, my problem is I am not feeling that I have a balance.
Your fixed, you are remembering that your fixed deposit. Somehow you have to remember, Nobody can help.
uh,
Eh?
mm,
Again here, in spiritual matter, the best rules are those which are not made by others, but self-imposed by the guru from within. A tree does not grow in the shade of another tree, but gets stunted. It can grow fully only in the open. So also you must have a free and open atmosphere for your spiritual growth. One may receive light and inspiration from saints and sages, but one must have an atmosphere of freedom in which to develop one's nature, independent of all external interference and guidance. By depending always on guidance from without, the disciple does not look within and rely on God who dwells in the heart. Very clear, no? So get inspiration from saints, but do not think of taking shelter permanently in any ashram. We don't know how to now change our lifestyle. Live alone in a free and open atmosphere.
Notices to us.
Then God within will lead you. The indwelling God is none other than your Guru who initiated you from outside as a human being. Guru is the immortal, all pervading spirit. Never look upon him as a mere person. If you develop this attitude from the beginning, you will realize the Guru never dies. You will never fear his absence as he is eternally within you. This particular, thus speaks Ramdas. One cannot rise beyond a certain stage of spiritual advancement if he is bound to any institution. In spiritual matters, the best rules are those which are not made by others but self imposed. By trial and error, we try to avoid. Initially, somebody has to guide. We don't know, no. But self imposed by the Guru from within. A tree does not grow in the shade of another tree but gets stunted. It can grow fully only in the open. So, also, you must have a free and open atmosphere for your spiritual growth. One may receive light and inspiration from saints and sages, but one must have an atmosphere of freedom in which to develop one's nature, independent of all external interference and guidance. By depending always on guidance from without, the disciple does not look within and rely on God who dwells in the heart. That's why in that particular quotation, Papa said, God does not need an intermediary. Switch on your wire for direct communication. Why do you deny him in your heart? So now, all these things, Papa is giving us, and he has also given us the holy and powerful Ramnam, and he is assuring us that Ramnam will take us to the summit. But now, we feel the urgency. Days are going. So before we kick the bucket, before we quit this, we must. You have given us some joy in chanting, making us feel. Sometimes you make us feel that yes, I am getting guidance, this and that. No, I should not be satisfied with that. Before you make me, before you, no, I don't know how to express it. Before the body is dropped, the sense of individuality should realize that it lives, it exists, it acts only because of him. Constant remembrance. So how should I transform my chanting? Supported by outer life. This intense question one has to ask him who is within. Don't make me to divert my attention on anything. I want you to realize, I want to realize your presence. Time is running out. I should not be satisfied with anything less than that. I know my baggage is creating me problem. How to get rid of that baggage? Nobody can do it. Only I should remove and throw it away. That also I know. Nobody can do it. So give me a technique by which I throw it away. I become empowered to throw it away. Or we plead our helplessness. That also Papa did. He plead and request him to take over us. I have done my best. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years I have been trying, hearing, and trying in my own way. To some progress is there, no doubt. But this ultimate goal of realizing our oneness with you, it is still a reality. It is still a concept. I plead my inability. I'm handing over this equipment to you.
அப்போ இந்த ஹேண்டிங் ஓவர் என்ன எப்படி ரொம்ப இட்ஸ் பிக் என்ன சொல்றது வரணும் அவங்க அந்த வேண்டிக்கலாம் பப்பா கிட்ட.
What comes in the way of one's achieving it is the sense of individuality. Therefore, ours is to surrender our little life to the cosmic life, relative life to the absolute life. And Papa makes a bombshell here, no? In other words,
சுவாமிஜி இப்பதான் புரியுறது சுவாமிஜி, இப்பதான் புரிஞ்சுது. இவ்வளவுதான் நீங்க சொல்ல so many times you have told me the same sentence, but இப்பதான் புரிஞ்சுது.
அந்த cremated ego பரி பண்ண சில வேண்டாம் வந்துடுவோம். Cremate பண்ண once and for all dismantle, We have to stand on the ashes of our cremated ego. That means even not 1% of kartrutva bhava, the sense of doership is not there. He is prompting us to say these words. Full stop. Nothing else more, He is making us to think. Full stop. He is making us to do. Full stop. And you will all remember when Papa in 1.5 years, sorry, not even 1.5 years. We don't know the exact timing. We can say it might be a few months when he started this journey. And the father asked him, what happened to you? When he was becoming indifferent to the normal life pattern and denying so many things for him, when the entire family people became panicky that something is basically wrong with him. And his father rushed up and asked, son, what is happening? Immediately Papa says, God is making me to repeat his name. He never gave a lecture. I am told about that when you hold on to the name, you will get this. So I am trying to remember him through chanting. I am intensifying my chanting, that's all. No. Simple answer. God is making me to chant. So his success was that in the shortest possible time, he was able to hand over. What was that word, exact word? Uh, they considered that it was all due to some derangement of his brain. Papa himself says, family people, which could be cured by medicine. Such was the impression people had of him, and that was conveyed to his father, who was then in Udupi. As soon as he heard this news about his son, he ran down to see him. He looked at Ramdas and understood him. Ramdas was seen repeating Ramnam always. He had lost all interest in the world. The father asked, "Son, what are you doing?" Ramdas replied, "God is making me repeat Ram Ram." He looked happier and addressed Ramdas. So at that time he was repeating only Ram, 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 Ram. Then he said, "I will give you a mantra which I received from a sannyasi. Just take it." He called Ramdas inside and initiated him with the mantra Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, and said, "Son, if you repeat this mantra constantly, you will attain eternal happiness." To the mantra given, there was no prefix of Om. Later on, Ramdas added Om because he was very much attached to Swami Ramtirtha, whose mantra was Om. He thought Ramtirtha wanted him to add Om to the Ram mantra. So many things. So here the thing is, God is making me repeat. That means that handing over has taken place even at such a short time. Here when we attend the session, people say, "Today's Ramnam was excellent." And the person who repeated the ashram may feel joyous not to hear this. But again, unknowingly, we are not bringing him into the picture, no? Now, one step is taking us today. You feel that even the very act of searching is done because of me. Okay. So we ultimately zeroes to this, that we have to develop. So far, the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others, and often it is still felt that the chanting is not becoming effective. His remembrance is still a far cry. So to get over this feeling, a different methodology has to be evolved based on trial and error, which is suitable and in line with our own nature. So go back again to Papa's. In Papa's case, he did not approach any guru. We are putting two and two together. In the course of Ramdas's life, prior to his meeting the Guru, he had been awakened off and on by contact with some dynamic personalities, though he had not felt that any power from outside had done it. The awakening had taken place within him. Ramdas once saw Gandhiji in Mangalore from a distance. A strange influence from him changed Ramdas's outlook, and his mind started going towards God. The first touch was from Gandhiji. Then we put in two and two together. Gandhiji was a votary of Ramnam. And he was chanting Ram, 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 Ram. And his Ram was Atma Ram, universal Ram. And he has defined Ram. At that time, we don't know whether Papa has gone through that, because later on he also went through intensely Gandhiji's teachings. The truth is that God is the force, He is the sense of life. God is not some person outside ourselves or away from the universe. He pervades everything and is omniscient as well as omnipotent. He does not need any praise or petition. God is then not a person. He is the all pervading, all powerful spirit. Anyone who hears him in his heart has accession of a marvelous force or energy, comparable in its result to physical forces like steam or electricity, much more subtle. I do dimly perceive that while everything around me is ever changing and ever dying, there is underlying all the change a living power that is changeless, that holds all together, that creates, dissolves, recreates. This informing power or spirit is God. The truth is that God is the force. He is the essence of life. He is pure, undefiled consciousness. He is eternal. And yet, strangely enough, all are not able to derive either benefit from or shelter in the all pervading living essence. God is an unseen power residing within us. There are many powers lying hidden within us. We discover them by constant struggle. Even so, we may find the supreme power if we make diligent search with the fixed determination to find Him. My God does not reside above. He has to be realized on earth. He is here, within you, within me. He is omnipotent, omnipresent. You need not think of the world beyond. So, like that, so Gandhiji has defined, So, and Papa says the first touch was from Gandhiji. And probably Gandhiji's life and teachings must have influenced him to a very great extent. That is why in his first book he said he is the expression of that. Lord Buddha, Lord Christ, Jesus, and Lord Mahatma Gandhi of our own time. That's what he has written. They are the fullest expression of the truth. Now coming back. So that means when he heard, when he attended that we are putting, this has not been authenticated, but we are deducing now, inferring from this, whatever we are. The first touch was from Gandhiji. A strange influence from him changed Ramdas's outlook, and his mind started going towards God. This is his words. The first touch was from Gandhiji. So that means after seeing Gandhiji, he must have been going through. And he started chanting Ram. Because Gandhiji has elaborately discussed about Ram. A few words of him, he must have. Rama is but a synonym. Rama is the strength of the weak. This strength is not to be obtained by taking up arms. It is to be had by throwing oneself on his name. Rama is but a synonym of God. Ramnama is an alchemy such as can transform the body. The conservation of vital energy has been likened to accumulated wealth, but it is in the power of Ramnam alone to make it running stream of ever-increasing spiritual strength, ultimately making the fall impossible. Just as the body cannot exist without blood, so the soul needs matchless and pure strength of faith. This strength can renovate the weakness of all man's physical organs. That is why it is said that when Ramnam is enshrined in the heart, it means the rebirth of a man. Though my reason and heart long ago realized the highest attribute and name of God as truth, I recognize truth as the name of Rama. In the darkest hour of my trial, that one name has saved me and is still saving me. When as a child my nurse taught me to repeat Ramnam whenever I felt afraid or miserable, and it has been second nature with me. With growing knowledge and advancing years, I may even may say that the word is in my heart, and if not actually on my lips, all the 24 hours. Pah. I may even say that the word is in my heart, Ramnam, if not actually on my lips, all the 24 hours. It has been my savior, and I am ever stayed on it. What is the mark of a man who has Rama enshrined in his heart? Such a man will take God's name with every breath. His Rama will be awake even while the body is asleep. Rama will always be with him in whatever he does. The real death for such a devoted man will be the loss of the sacred companionship. A devotee of Rama may be said to be the same as the Chittaprajna of the Gita. He will live in the consciousness of the soul and look to the care first and last of the indweller Ram. Such a man will take God's name with every breath. My Ram is not the historical Rama. He is the eternal, the unborn, the one without a second. Him alone I worship. I have said that to take Ramnam from the heart means deriving help from the incomparable power. There is no doubt whatsoever that Ramnam contains all the power that is attributed to it. No one can, by mere wishing, enshrine Ramnam in his heart. Untiring effort is required, as also patience. With my hand on my breast, I can say that not a minute in my life am I forgetful of God. So all these words, very inspiring words. Papa must have read it at that time. So with that bhavana, he was repeating, Ram, 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 Ram. Why did we say this? We were talking about handing over. That is why we remembered that in the sense of doership, handing over means the sense of doership is absent. So even the very act of chanting, God make me to repeat. So now Papa gives us a clue that when you feel that your present style of chanting has not, you feel it has not taken you to the ultimate. When you feel that you have not still tasted or you have not still arrived at the destination, you try this method. Make me to hand over myself, lock, stock and barrel. And we have to evolve our own method. Here we cannot look up to somebody. That is why it is mentioned, so far the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others, and often it is still felt that the chanting is not becoming effective. Meaning, his remembrance is still a far cry. We are enjoying the Ramnam session, no doubt. We get again a taste. Every day when we chant, it's not boring. Like any other thing, we get bored by repeatedly using it. But in Ramnam, we never feel it. We are drawn. The moment it is chanted, immediately we are drawn there. All those plus points are there. That he has enabled us to do it. But the ultimate purpose of chanting Ramnam is to become aware of his presence. So the fine tuning has to be done by me. Nobody else can help. So every one of us, So we are all unique. So every one of us have to try this in our own way. Here we cannot ask for any external guidance. We had enough. That is why Papa keeps on emphasizing this in many of his articles. But that's what he did. Yesterday we read out, no, Ramdas did not join any organization. You remember? Or forgotten? In search of Papa is there? No. I have got it. It is book. It was there, but in the new arrangement I don't know what they have done.
No, it's on my table. We gave it to Sundar. Sundar gave it back to me. It's on my table.
No. So he says specifically this. Ramdas did not join any organization, nor did he pursue any path. So he was relying on God within, Guru within. And he also adds one more word. In all matters, try to rely on the Guru within. Of course, this is told by a Guru outside, agreed. For this, we need a Guru outside to tell us this. But we should understand what he says, Up to that, the outside Guru was essential for us. In his case, it was not essential. Because circumstances pushed him to such an extent that it started becoming introvert. Failure after failure after failure made him to cry. Ramdas never joined any organization for his spiritual growth. Guru within him mysteriously guided him and made everything easy for God realization. Then he found that the best routes to be followed were those which his inner Guru set for him from time to time. It is clear that our guide in such matters must be the Guru within us and not without. If we look closely, we find that right from the very start, Papa has not followed any established pattern, such as mastering scriptures, serving or staying with a spiritual preceptor for a considerable time, or joining a spiritual institution or mission. The journey toward the core of his being starts from identifying the uniqueness of his approach to spiritual life. So these are the guidance, for us. A strong guidance. So far, we have been looking up to some instructions outside. That was necessary, and we have reached a stage. Now we still find that there is a roadblock. We are not moving forward. We are happy.
Swamiji. Papa வந்து where is peace, where is
Rest.
lifeன்ற மாதிரி அவரு ட்ரை பண்ணும் போதும் அவரு உள்ள இருக்கிற பகவான் கிட்ட கேட்டு அவரை உள்ள இருந்துதான் அவரு பாயிண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணி அழுதாரா அப்படின்றது அந்த புக்லயும் இல்ல. ஆனா சடனா உள்ள இருந்து வாய்ஸ் வந்த அப்புறம் தான் தெரிஞ்சது உள்ள வந்து பகவான் நம்மள வந்து இருக்காரு, நம்மளுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்றாருன்ட்டு. இப்போ சுவாமிஜி சொன்னதுனால இப்போ எங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் வந்து நல்லா உள்ளதான் இருக்காருன்னு தெரிஞ்சிட்டதுனால சரி உள்ள இருக்காரு, எப்படி இருந்தாலும் அவரே செய்வாரு, வேணும் போது கேட்டுக்கலாம் அப்படி
Okay, that is
அந்த தேடுதல்ன்றது
வந்துட்டில்லை.
அது அது ரொம்ப ஈஸியா கிடைச்சதுனால அந்த ஒரு தேர்ஸ்ட் வந்து இருக்கான்றது தெரியல சுவாமி
கரெக்ட்
எங்களுக்கு.
கரெக்ட் கரெக்ட் யூ ஆர் ரைட். தேடுதல் இல்லை. எனிவே ப்ராபபிளி
நல்லா காமிச்சு கொடுத்துட்டீங்க உள்ளதான் இருக்காருன்னு. ஆனா நல்ல ஃபர்மா நல்ல ஃபெய்த் இருக்கு உள்ள இருக்காருன்னு. ஆனா கேக்குறதுக்கு வந்து நம்ம கூட தானே இருக்காரு அப்படின்னு ஒரு
அவர் விட மாட்டாரு, கைவிட மாட்டாரு,
கைவிட மாட்டாரு, எப்போ வேணுமோ அப்ப செய்வாரு.
கரெக்ட் கரெக்ட். No, that is okay, that is okay. That's a very great blessing. But now he is prompting us, that we should not stop with that. So we will try our level best. Method of chanting to be used based upon one's own swabhava and limitation. Other point, we will start dwelling upon it. This point is also given by him, that you have to develop or grow according to your own nature ன்னு சொல்கிறாரு. அப்போது அதுக்கு தகுந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மெத்தடாலஜி ஷுட் கெட் இவால்வ்டு. Is it because that I am following only somebody, the methodology suggested by somebody? It has helped me to a great extent, but not to the full extent. So now I have to think, I must, at least I must try 5 minutes or 10 minutes, some changed method by which I become more and more aware of his presence intimately. Even Papa's time, during the Satsang period, when a serious devotee poses this, Papa used to put it in a blunt way, which appears in God Experience 1 and 2, in Gospel. So such things come out, no doubt about it, come out. Previously we would have read it, but we would not have taken deeply into our heart. Now he is slowly taking us within and creating in us an emergent nature. I should not take it easy, because time is running out. Before he makes me to become his own, if he makes me to drop this body, again the carrying over will be there for the next birth. And he assures through various other Mahatmas that even if a cave, Papa used to quote, from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's words, even if a cave which has not seen any light at all for 1,000 years, it doesn't take 1,000 years to get the light. Once, when you, what do you call that? Matchstick. One matchstick, when it comes out, that is enough to clear the darkness. So we are banking upon that word. I must have lived so many years, doing so many things as a part of my sadhana, but still the feeling of his guiding all thought, word and deed, it is yet to come, though he is behind it. How am I to do it? Will I be able to feel his presence before the body gets trapped? Because that is the platform of the sense of individuality. So when he gave me this platform, probably he thought I will make use of it, but I couldn't make use of it. So before it is dropped, I am now pressing him, why don't you please do it? So if I lack, if my attention is diverted, I know that you have taught me that in the next birth I will have to continue. So before the body gets dropped, this is how the urgency is felt, How many days, how many weeks, how many months, or how many years you are going to give, we don't know. But before it is dropped, you must give me that feeling, that experience. I should not feel that I am still to get it. The seeking and the sought after should become one. Put it in a blunt way. The seeking should stop. That can stop only when I feel full. So make me to stop this seeking. Something like that, no? Each one can draft out, charter out one's own words, one's own approach. This is the strong message today he gives us. So far, the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others, and often it is still felt that the chanting is not becoming effective, meaning his remembrance is still a far cry. So, to get over this feeling, a different methodology has to be evolved based on trial and error, which is suitable and in line with our own nature. So, this is the gist of today's. No? He wants to prioritize in our mind. Wants every one of us to prioritize this in his mind. We'll keep it and try, and pray to him. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Oh, Pushpaben has raised a hand.
Without
Somebody has raised a hand.
I think she is not aware of this one.
Oh, accidentally. Oh, all right. So we will meet on day of tomorrow. Something on these bells. Let it be there in the mind. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, 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 pranam. Namaskar, namaskar. Pranam, pranam, pranam to everybody.